we want to present our next award, which is the Social Justice Award. And I'd like to call to the stage Imam Imadan Chassi and Adam Sultani to present this award.
I have good news and bad news. The good news is I'm not doing fundraising tonight. The bad news is my teacher's doing the fundraising tonight. Next gentleman we're gonna introduce to the stage is a personal friend. He's actually really a brother from a different mother. I've known him right before, even before the Sharia law or the Anti-Sharia law was introduced. As you know, I'm a VIP, meaning very Islamic personality. And one day after 2001, I received a phone call from our local office, the Friendly Brotherhood of the FBI. And then I wanted somebody to represent me, and who to call except my dear friend, Micheal Salem. I called him, and me and him were on this 4-hour friendly interview, which resulted in him basically telling them to take a hike. And they did. And for the most part, from then, we have developed a really special relationship. Indeed, when the news came to my desk that 755 is about to take over the state legislation, and indeed as CAIR director, asked me if we could ask me to bless the lawsuit, which is something that is hard for me to do, but under the circumstances we did. And after we were searching for somebody to represent us, there was nobody better than Micheal Salem. Because you see, there are two kinds of people. Those who want to get a job and those who believe in the mission. Those who want to get a job will get a job. But Micheal Salem believes in the First Amendment. Actually, that is his specialty. And when you see him, when he talks about the First Amendment, you could see a light in his face. I saw him in court one day after another as he was defending the First Amendment, and I could see the smile on his face, the joy in his heart, and he had this charisma about him. He actually believes in the mission. So to introduce him, Micheal Salem is a solo practitioner from Norman, Oklahoma. His primary interest of practice area is federal constitutional law and civil rights, including First Amendment law. He also practices in the area of Indian law. He received his Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Wow, so he's wired. 1971, a Master in Public Administration in 1975, and a Juris Doctor 1975, all from the University of Oklahoma. Micheal Salem is one of 3 Oklahoma attorneys. That was selected by the Oklahoma Bar Association for the 2013 Fern Holland Courageous Lawyer Award, which is given an OBA member who has courageously performed in a manner befitting the highest ideal of the profession. Salem worked with CAIR-Oklahoma and ACLU to block an Oklahoma constitutional amendment, and I might add, and winning that case, that would have prohibited state court from recognizing Sharia law or Islamic law in Oklahoma. Please help me. Please help me by standing and clapping to my dearest friend and to the man who is behind the scene. He does not like to be recognized, Micheal Salem.
Thank you, Ahmad. I really won't keep you very long, and that gleam in the eye really is the fact that I had cataract surgery earlier. So, excuse me. I really want to say that when Adam called me about this, I told him that really I'm not sure that I was the one who should have been honored, because there were two people, Munir Awad and Gadir Abbas. Munir, of course, was your executive director. Gadir was an attorney recently hired by National CAIR. And they actually began this lawsuit. And let me tell you this, they did it, and they were both recent graduates of law school, but neither one of them were admitted to practice law anywhere. And they filed a pro se case and convinced Judge Miles LaGrange to give them a temporary restraining order. And at that point, Ahmad called me and asked if I would help for the preliminary injunction, and so I did. And of course, we got the preliminary injunction, and after that point, then of course the state appealed, and the decision of the 10th Circuit made it pretty clear that they probably were not going to win the Anti-Sharia issue. So I really think Munir and Gadir probably deserve more recognition than that, you know, than at least than I. And then in addition to that, when Munir left, we needed people, we needed additional plaintiffs, and who stepped forward? I don't know, was there cattle prod involved anywhere? but these two people right here, Adam and Ahmad, became plaintiffs in the case. And they all recognized the seriousness of the situation. They all recognized how important this was. And quite frankly, if we didn't have a plaintiff, as Munir left the state, the lawsuit would have been dismissed. And it was just by the closest of timing, because anything that would have stopped the lawsuit in the judge's order would have allowed the election board, and they were waiting to certify the question as passed, 70%. So when I mentioned this to Adam, Adam said, well, you know, we don't really need any recognition because this is our job and people understand that this is what we're supposed to do. Well, I understand what a job is, you know, and that's what I do. It's also what I do. It's also my job, and it's also your job to protect the Constitution, to protect the First Amendment. I litigate cases involving free speech, religion, free exercise of religion. I've litigated cases involving death row inmates and access to attorneys. That's my job, and I like it. I mean, it's very interesting, and it's also your job, and your participation in CAIR and your participation with the American Civil Liberties Union makes that possible. I didn't do this alone. There were other people who assisted, but besides the ones from the National ACLU, there was Dan Mack, Heather Weaver, and Chandra Bhatnagar, who assisted, and then locally, Professor Joe Tai, who I think probably some of you know. He's a professor of law at the University of Oklahoma. In addition to that, Vince Liesenfeld, and of course, Gadir. And we all worked on the case. It was entertaining, because it is entertaining, because the Oklahoma legislature tried to solve a problem that there was no problem. They proposed a solution when there was no problem. There is no issue involving Sharia law that is going to stand above the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause of the United States Constitution and the First Amendment. There's just none. It was a pure political ploy, and it was unsuccessful. So, in any case, thank you for this evening. Thank you, Ahmad, my friend, and Adam, my newfound friend, and plaintiffs. And we'll keep them organized, and maybe they can find something else for us to take a shot at. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and staff of CAIR-Oklahoma, I present to Micheal Salem the Faith and Freedom Social Justice Award.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stand over. Thank you. We can get a picture.